I don't know if anybody's growing short stature corn, for instance, too, exactly. So, oh, this is what this is for. Okay, so will we try to sustain status quo, or we're going to act with nature and knowledge to grow a better future? Okay, and so before we pat ourselves on the back, we got to realize that we must nourish the earth to nourish ourselves if we live in reciprocal cycles. Okay, if you look at Asheville, probably in a couple, with the way climate change is going, it may be drier than a chip. Okay, it might be have some drought coming or higher temperatures. So by us harming nature, forcing the riparian buffers out and all these natural flood zone areas, we're harming ourselves. And with the Mississippi River, for instance, every spring we hear about the floods, but that's been going on a lot. What happened? We built up, what was it? Jefferson, anybody from Lincoln? Or Jefferson City? Right. That hasn't always been cement right by the river. It was a natural floodplain area. So some of these things we got to look at how we build back better. And so, but there's a lot of nature adapt, so we got to have systemic solutions. So, but there's a lot of barriers to all this. It's not easy. Okay? I'm sure when Dr. Dari and Dr. Thomas goes around, farmers are all for telling them how they're going to do their land, right? They're just like, sure, no problem, we'll change. Okay? But it's really tough when you're trying to convince a farmer to take some of these practices. That's why it takes some of the modeling and the predictions that Raymond was talking about. Some of the areas in North Carolina, high-speed internet connectivity is a problem. Okay? Here in Alabama, who's the Alabama people in the room? How's high-speed connectivity in the rural areas?
It is not. I reached rural areas.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what, you got so many bars on your phone type situation?
They got some, they got some fiber going to some place, most places got it yet.
Wow, okay, same thing in Eastern North Carolina. Yeah, so, but we were talking about all these technologies, and, but at the end of the day, the bottom line denominator is someone has some high-speed connectivity. That's the real barrier. And so you're gonna have technical assistance with that. And then, that's why I was asking Raymond about his sigmoidal positive cooperative binding curve. You got to show clear ability to improve profit. Now, Raymond, I wouldn't probably give him that curve. I would give him something a little bit. But nah, that curve is good. But that would scare people. Like, okay, what does that red dot mean? How long does that take? Okay. But no, that's good you're predicting. So we're glad to have you. And then at the end of the day, when you talk to farmers, you be asking them all these numbers. Okay, what was your yield? What was your returns last year? And they're like, oh, okay, he's a spy from the IRS. I don't know. Okay, that's real. Because these people in rural areas, our people, they've been manipulated for many years. And so they have a right to be skeptical. You coming out there dressed in a tie, taking notes. You got to be careful. So that's why you need champions. We're going to talk about that. You need community. You need people in those extension age. You need champions, people they trust. Trust is everything in climate change and climate change mitigation. So now, we always think that but see, there's a lot of producers and consumers that are already changing faster than universities and markets. Okay, so we're not new to the game. We're not new to the game, but there's a lot of other entities out there that's just doing just as well or better than some of these greenhouse gas emission decreases. So, like for instance, the timber people, they're doing a lot of growing the resources and materials instead of mining them. And so I'm so glad that the Smith-McIntyre now has become a real bonus for our HBCUs. And a lot of our HBCUs, like A&T, they got out of Smith-McIntyre. We got to get back in that business because that's one way where you're growing resources rather than mining. And then the supply chain, who's the guy that owns Amazon again? What's the owner of Amazon? Bezos. Okay, Bezos figured all that out, right? And with the supply chain and the issue with the battery operated trucks is real tough. But that's where the key is how you're going to reduce the supply chain. And you're talking about going to drones or robotics for that. A lot of things are not out there yet, but that's one of the things that that the corporate side is working on.